Hello and welcome to another Paralives Speed Build. Today we're picking up right where we left off. In the previous video, I built the exterior and decorated the two shops on the ground floor. This time, we'll be heading upstairs to furnish and decorate the apartment. So without further ado, let's get building. First thing I wanted to get out of the way was the staircases. I started with the stairwell connected to the flower shop, which leads up to the apartment. Originally, I wanted it to go even higher, connecting multiple apartments, but I eventually decided to stick with a single residence, so it only goes up one floor. Next, I added another staircase inside the apartment itself, situated in the living area. I made both of them switchback staircases because I've always preferred stairs with landings since they create a lot more visual interest, especially the one in the living room, which you'll get a better look at later. This part is where I figure out the floor plan. I ended up placing the bedroom wall at a 45-degree angle so the upstairs living area could have direct access to the bathroom. It does create a funny side effect though, where both doors open whenever a para walks in either one, but they're both fully functional, so I'm willing to overlook it. I separated the kitchen and dining area from the living room with these arched openings. Then I built the powder room over by the living area. It's a slightly unusual shape, but I wanted to keep the window on the facade, and this layout works perfectly just fine. The little nook behind the staircase also ended up being the perfect place for a built-in bookcase. I roughed in the kitchen layout by placing the counters and appliances before creating this small hallway from the front door. Rather than having a long wall, I made this open shelving that looks into the kitchen. I think this way it makes the kitchen somewhat brighter. Next, I customized the countertops with these steel tiles and light wood finish. Then match the open shelving to the same wood tone. And of course, I absolutely cluttered it up. My cluttering style can be a little over the place because I got way too excited finding cute kitchen items. In my defense though, this was my first build. I also made this hanging shelf above the sink, which is really just a rotated wall-mounted shelf, and I filled it with mugs and bowls. It mysteriously disappears later on, so don't get attached to it. Finally, I added a microwave over at the open shelving, which is functional, by the way, and filled it up with containers, plants, and books. For the dining area, I wanted to maximize the space, so I used this modular seating to follow the curve of the wall and have a little booth moment. It's a shame that it isn't functional though. I paired it with a round dining table and these industrial style chairs, swapping the seat to this rattan texture. Then I added more color to the space with some pillows, plants, and curtains. Honestly, I didn't go into this apartment with a particular design style in mind. Since it's my first time playing, I mostly just decorated with whatever I liked. I really wanted to explore and experiment with different pieces and just have fun with it. Moving over to the entryway, I placed a console table by the front door with a tray for some everyday essentials. Things like your phone or headphones that you definitely don't want to forget on your way out. I wanted to, but I couldn't find the keys. Underneath, I tucked a basket of indoor slippers, then added a jacket by the door and one hook from the clothesline item. You'll catch the clothesline for a split second there, actually. To finish off the dining area, I brought in a kitchen trolley, topped it with some bread, a bottle, and a candle, then spent a bit more time adding the final touches before calling this room finished. Starting off the next room with the built-in bookshelf, I was actually excited to make this, so I tucked a couple of bookshelves behind the arched opening to make it look custom built, and I'm kind of obsessed with how it turned out. For the seating area, I kept things fairly simple with a love seat and an accent chair. I also tucked an arc floor lamp and a plant into its corner. I just love how dramatic arc lamps look. This one's a little more simple, but it still feels like a statement piece to me. From there, I finished putting the space together with a TV, layered a pair of triangular coffee tables, and spent some time recoloring everything before adding a rug to tie the seating area together. Since the walls are thick here, the windowsills ended up being wide enough to decorate. Naturally, I filled them with plants and books. then added a salt lamp and pretended it's actually a crystal soaking up the sun. I also used this customizable round frames and searched for embroidered artwork online to turn them into little framed embroideries. I was so happy with how it turned out, so I couldn't stop at just one. I ended up hanging 3 of them. Now onto the powder room. I had the idea to turn part of it into a little laundry closet, so I enclosed it with a glass sliding door since it's purely decorative anyway. Inside, I stacked the washer and dryer, added a clothing rack, an organizer cart stocked with toiletries and laundry supplies, and even customized the pillow into a laundry detergent bag. The rest of the room came together pretty quickly with a sink, a toilet with some dark wood accents, and for such a small half bath, I think it turned out surprisingly charming. Heading upstairs, I started with the lounge. I wanted it to feel like a cozy hangout space with a little book nook and plenty of seating for friends to gather. For the center table, I put on there the D&D essentials, like a map, set of dice, and some miniatures, which one is just a sized-down knockoff Miku. It's definitely not enough room to run an actual campaign, but I wanted the space to reflect the Para's hobbies and interests. I finished the room off with more books, plants, a few knickknacks on the shelf, and even a telescope by the window for a bit of stargazing. Right by the lounge is the work area / art studio. I placed a computer desk to look out the window and then focused on the creative space next. Around the easel are a bunch of art supplies, of course. I have a shelf of it and an organizer that holds more of it. I also have a few blank canvases leaning against the wall. Then I got this large painting from the debug category and used the advanced tool to also prop it against the wall. I even found this rug. I forgot what the pattern is called, but it's the closest I could get to paint splatters, so I had to use it here. The iconic leg lamp also had to be in there somewhere because it's eccentric enough for an artist to own. For this room, I added a few columns to subtly separate the lounge from the studio. The room felt a little too open for me, so that helped break it up without closing either space off. I reused the modular shelving in the lounge and stacked them to look like it's part of the desk before filling it with office supplies and more bits of clutter. Now we're moving into the bedroom. I originally wanted to use these wooden pallets as bed frame, but during my playtest, my para wasn't able to use the bed, so I had to get rid of them. I went ahead and built a custom headboard using this dresser with some shelving above it, and then tucked the whole setup neatly into the corner with another column. I let the footage do most of the talking here, while I covered the area with plushies, plants, and pillows. Across the room, I turned this raised desk into a vanity and then paired it with this posh-looking bar stool. I decorated it with some skincare products and a set of brushes, which we know are paint brushes. I also added a room divider with a pair of roller skates hanging from it to hint at another hobby the Para enjoys. I brought in a couple of suitcases and then realized that there are now way too many pieces of luggage in this room, but oh well. Anyway, that's about everything for the bedroom. Moving on to the walk-in closet, I sectioned off part of the room to create a dedicated wardrobe area and used these bifold closet doors, which I thought were perfect. The only thing is they swing open like regular doors rather than, well, folding, but that's okay. Inside, I used these two different clothing racks to add a bit more variety to the wardrobe, then filled the shelves with shoes, duffel bags, and yes, another suitcase. Apparently, this Para travels a lot. I'll be finishing this room off with a standing mirror and a poof, tying it all together with a sunny side up rug. We finally made it to the last room of the apartment, the bathroom. I started with the bathtub, then nudged this curtain forward to use as a shower curtain. I even changed the fabric to make it look more like the typical plastic ones you'd find in bathrooms. Beside the tub, I built a little ledge by thickening this half wall, then resized a wall shelf to cover the surface, turning it into a handy place for even more bathroom essentials. Unlike the powder room downstairs, this bathroom is much more personal. I stocked it with toiletries, a first aid kit, and even some prescription medications over at the medicine cabinet to make it look like the space is part of someone's daily routine. And that's the finished build. If you'd like to download it for your own game, you can find the build on my Steam workshop. Links will be in the description down below. If you missed the first part where I built the exterior along with the bookstore and the flower shop, be sure to check out my previous video. I'd love to hear what you'd like to see me build next, so let me know in the comments. I'll leave you with some screenshots so you can take a closer look at all the little details. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.